my first one is St. Louis Billikens, best looking mascot out there.
Hey, clarify this real quick. What we want to
Yeah.
talk about is we're going to talk about these Cinderella teams who we think can make a deep run in the NCAA tournament, kind of be that like the darling of the NCAA tournament. We're not talking about like a NC State, a couple years ago, who they're an ACC team. That's a power conference team. And although that would be, I guess, considered a Cinderella run, we're looking at teams that like nobody really knows about, that not many people are talking about, the mid-major teams, the lower conference teams. So anyways, St. Louis qualifies there. They're in the A10, I believe.
Yes, they are. I think they definitely qualify. I mean, you can just I think a lot of times you can look at the schedule and you can kind of see. Now, every now and then some mid-major teams play a little bit of a harder schedule, but St. Louis is averaging 95 points per game, which is really impressive for any team. I don't care what division you're in. And they're also averaging 5th in the nation in rebounding at 45 rebounds per game, which is better than Alabama can say. Their only loss came at the buzzer against Stanford, and Stanford just beat Louisville. So St. Louis is a good team, and I don't know what it is. St. Louis, if you go back over the years and you just look at the history, they have had solid teams. They have had teams who've made runs in March Madness, and I could see it happening again very easily this year. They are I think 15-1 now, and they just continue to be solid consistently. They continue to be a solid team, especially for a mid-major. So that's my team that I think is going to make a difference in March. So look out for St. Louis, my second team, and then I'll let you get into yours.
Hey,
you have something to say?
Do you have their schedule up?
Yeah, I do.
St. Louis?
Yes.
What would you say their best win? I know you said they barely lost to
is Santa Clara.
Okay, yeah, that's not
one
bad.
Which I think that's their best win. They also beat Grand Canyon by 14. Grand Canyon's not horrible. Let's see. They also beat San Francisco, which they're not. San Francisco's not good this year, but
but still, that's a WCC team. Hey, they're 34 in KenPom, which is right behind North Carolina and right ahead of St. Mary's. So 34 is a really good ranking for an A10 team like this.
I would agree 100%. I think
watch out for them.
Yeah, I think St. Louis is a good team. I think they're going to make some noise in March. I kind of hope that they end up being like a 9 or a 10 because I love those picks anyways. I love making those 9, 10 picks, especially with a team like St. Louis. And my next team,
dude, 8 and 9 play, and then they play the 1 seed.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying,
okay. I would want them to be 9.
No. I'm just saying, for them to win their first game. Obviously, you're not going to win. You're probably not going to win the next game, but I'm just saying to win the first game.
I see.
My next team, which is a little bit iffy on a mid-major, they still are because of what classifies as a mid-major, but Utah State, who now is ranked 23rd in the AP poll. They're 14-1. Utah State. I didn't even realize until today when I looked at the AP poll that they were as good as they are. They lost to South Florida on the road, but they've responded with 5 straight wins, including an 18-point victory over San Jose State, which isn't like an incredible win, but Utah State, they a few years ago they were ranked, if I remember correctly, top 5 when they had the Martin twins. I think they were in the.
I don't know if they were in the top 5, but
they were good. They were a really good team that year. They ended up not doing much, but they lost. They beat Colorado State. They beat Colorado State 100-58.
Whew.
Yeah, that's probably their best win. They got 5 wins in a row now. They got to play Nevada next.
VCU got a bad win for them too.
Yeah, beat VCU. And they beat Tulane as well. they don't have a ton of hard games coming up just because obviously the mid majors. I think their next hardest game is probably on the 31st when they play San Diego State, and then they play New Mexico. So
that'd be a good one.
Those two games back to back are going to be pretty hard games. But Utah State, man, they are a lot more talented than I think a lot of people want to give them credit for. I'm trying to see what's their point average here if I can find it. But I'm not finding it.
Well, let me say this while you're looking for that. They're 20 on KenPom, and that is that's a really, really good ranking, and that's easily the highest Mountain West Conference team. The Mountain West is not as good this year. Like San Diego State is not looking good. Boise State, I don't know. They're not as good. But they're 15 on offense and 39 on defense. So like that's pretty solid for this Mountain West Conference team. And Utah State, 14-1. I'd look out for them too. Although they've had good teams in the past, and like sometimes they kind of fizzle out. And by the way, the Martin twins played for Nevada, not for Utah.
Oh, they played for Nevada, not Utah State. Oh, I thought they played for Nevada. Same Utah State.
Same color scheme. And they're I think they're in the same conference too. So I mean,
yeah. Well, they're playing. That's their next game. So that's on me. They're averaging 87 points per game. Utah State is, which isn't bad. They have a guy, MJ. I just lost his name. MJ Collins, averaging 21 points a game on their team. So that's really impressive for a team like that. Unfortunately, he's probably not even going to be on that team next year because of NIL. But we'll see. I love the guys who stick around just for loyalty's sakes. They're just kind of like, you know what? I'm going to get mine here. I'm going to be good here. I'm going to get noticed here. You've seen it over the years. Players go to mid-majors and go to the NBA and be successful because they're just that talented. So we'll see what happens. I really hope NIL doesn't change college basketball as much as it's changing college football. But those are my two teams. I keep on saying that. St. Louis and Utah State are my two mid-major teams.